Hassan Iksan Salim, Maldives.
Niels Jakob Sprenger, Germany.
Gilbert Nombwana Mudenda II. My grandfather in Tonga, Vatata.
My grandfather in German, Großvater.
My grandfather in Divehi, Kafa. The great festivals. My grandfather walks in with his drum in his hand, beating to the rhythm, scars on his back. The day of the funeral. We wash the lifeless body of our grandfather, scars on his back. My father explains, inflicted by the whip of an occupier, an imperialist. A nice day, a normal day. We walk down the street, we get jumped, we get attacked. A scar on my back from that day, a knife in the heart of my friend, a knife in the heart.
Stabbed by a nation, stabbed by the country. The 1960s were a time of turmoil, a time when freedom seemed a luxury. Bloodshed and frustration were the ambience of the nation. My grandfather, Elijah Mudenda, a revolutionary leader, the first prime minister of the nation. Like many who gave up their lives, risked prison, death, to give birth to a nation. An infant nation, innocent and facing a bright future. Our present was their future. However, their picture of the future is not the picture of the present. A nightmare. Was this their dream? Leaders, corrupt leaders, live in prosperity. The minority rule with their land, mansions, chauffeurs and leather seats. The majority can only own their misery. Zambia, I love you, but hate what you are. Zambia, I love you, but hate what you are. The sacrifice of family, my family, the nation as a family, boils down to designer shoes.
I saw shoes in Auschwitz when I've been there 3 years ago. It was an impressive image of how many people walk into Auschwitz with shoes and never came back. I met a guy there who survived in Auschwitz and still had his shoes. He told incredible stories about what happened with him there and what my nation did to him. He told me that he had a good life, even if he lived 3 years at the worst place I can imagine. And he told me that he is not mad with Germany or with my nation or with myself. He is fine and he thinks everything is okay how it was. On the other hand, my grandfather told me many stories about the time in Nazi Germany. He was part of the Hitler Youth, and he told me that it was a good time because they had fun together, they learned a lot, and it was enjoyable. I can't connect these both people who grew up in the same time, in the same nation. One in a prison, almost dying, and the other one in a society which he kind of enjoyed. He told me he never went to prison because he was part of the system.
In prison, behind these walls, alone with the man who killed and raped. I did not do no such thing. I stood up for my nation. I was a revolutionary, like my grandfather before me. But here I am in prison, with this man, the same as the man who killed my friend, with the knife in the heart. But I talk to him. He tells me stories. He tells me of his past. I realize I do not hate him anymore. I forgive, for it's not their fault, it's our fault, the society. We have created a vicious cycle. We create ourselves, behind these walls, in these prisons.
Großvater,
Vatata.
Kafa.
grandparents.